de ma tête ne serait absolument pas possible. Aidez-moi à accueillir Daniel Brisson. Oui.
Merci beaucoup, Evie. Alors, on rappelle qu'il est candidate ici d'Argenteuil, Mathieu qui va être candidat à Gatineau, qui l'a été déjà, Manon Chevalier qui est venu nous rejoindre ici, alors on a compté, qui est candidate aussi, Éric Fleury qui était chez là, alors Éric Fleury a lui aussi, elle meurt, donc vous voyez, on a déjà une organisation qui est en train de se bâtir. On rappelle que c'est un gouvernement minoritaire de Trudeau, alors il faut être prêt, alors il faut bâtir le Québec, qui va faire partie, qui va être une plaque tournante pour les prochaines élections. Alors, c'est mon rôle, mais ce n'est pas que mon rôle, c'est aussi la participation des gens parmi tous ceux qui nous aident, mais aussi votre collaboration à vous qui vous êtes déplacés aujourd'hui. C'est très important. Vous n'êtes pas déplacés ici juste pour une cabane à sucre. Hein? Une cabane à sucre, il y en a partout au Québec. Alors, vous êtes déplacés ici parce que vous aimez la liberté. Vous êtes des combattants de la liberté à votre façon. Vous aimez ça, mais vous aimez surtout un homme qui se bat pour la liberté, qui vous représente, puis qui est prêt à prendre le drapeau de la liberté partout au Canada, d'un océan à l'autre. Il ne fait pas semblant. Alors, merci beaucoup d'être là, mais c'est pas pour moi que vous êtes venus. Alors, Maxime Bernier, futur premier ministre du Canada, c'est ce qu'on veut. Merci Maxime, bienvenue.
Merci Daniel. Merci à vous tous. Thank you very much for being here today. And you know, it's a challenging time for everybody now. And you know that. And I know that also. First, I want to thank you for believing first in yourself, in our country, in our values, individual freedom, personal responsibility, respect and fairness. And this political party, and I like to call that a movement, because it is a movement. A lot of you before, you know, were not part of a political party or were decided not to vote during elections, and I respect that. But you now decided that we must do something. And as you know, I'm not alone. We have a great team, Daniel and everybody, and Evie and all the candidates. A great team, not only here in Quebec, but also across the country. And the good news about our party, we started that in 2018. 0% of the vote. 2019, 1.6% of the vote. 2021, 5% of the vote. And we did better at the last general election than the Green Party of Canada. After more than 30 years, it took us only 3 years to beat the Green. The next step, I don't know what we will achieve, but I can tell you we are growing, and yes, I believe that we'll be able to increase again our percentage of the vote, to be able to have candidates elected. You know, our biggest challenge, you may know, it's the mainstream media. They are canceling us. Actually, I'll give you an example. The war in Ukraine, we took a strong position for peace and prosperity, and we said that, you know, we condemn the Russian invasion in Ukraine, but we need to find a solution. And for us, the solution must be a diplomatic one, and Ukraine must be a neutral country. And so we have a different position than every political party in Canada, and also a different position than the mainstream media. So when the mainstream media, and I will name that media, Le Journal de Montréal, they called us and they said, we want to have Bernier and we want to ask him questions about Ukraine. Because they wanted to have our point of view and maybe saying something that Bernier is pro-Russia, is pro-Putin, and I'm not. If you are asking for a diplomatic solution, you know, I'm not pro-Putin, I'm not pro that invasion, but also we cannot escalate that conflict. And all these politicians are asking for more and more sanctions, and this escalation this escalation. Thank you. won't serve Ukraine and us, our country. So I did that interview. And I think it went very well because the journalist was asking a lot of questions, try to, in different ways, try to have me saying that I'm pro-Putin and I'm okay with that invasion. But that's not our position, so I didn't say that. So after that, after a 20-minute interview, I was happy. I called my director of communication and he said, so what happened with that interview? I said, it went very well. And so let's read it tomorrow in the newspaper. The day after, nothing in the newspaper. The other day, nothing in the newspaper. So my director of communication called the Journal de Montréal and that journalist. And he did a long interview with Bernie and we didn't see anything. He said, now we are focusing on other things and so we won't publish that interview. So that's the mainstream media. They don't want us to look good. They want us to look bad, and they try to exaggerate everything that we're doing and in their point of view. And so we cannot count on them. But I can count on you. I can count on the social media. Maybe I cannot count on YouTube because, as you know, in English, YouTube give us a second strike. And if we have a third one, we won't be on YouTube anymore. So I'm asking you to go on Rumble, Odyssey, and over there, everything will be there. But that censorship, it's everywhere. Coming from the federal government, coming from the private sector, coming from the big tech. So that's our fight. We are fighting for freedom. When I was speaking about freedom, maybe, 5, 6 years ago. What do you mean, Bernie? We are in a free country. Now more and more people understand that we cannot take our freedom for granted. We need to fight. And we were there in Ottawa with the Freedom Convoy. I was the only national politician, leader of a national party to be there. That was fun, very cold, but yeah, we did pancakes. That was fun. But that happened because of you. I'm pretty sure that one of you, the last 2 years, you did some rallies, maybe in Montreal, maybe in Quebec City, maybe in your own town. And maybe you were only 50, 20. The last rally that we did in Montreal, I think we had, 10,000 people. So we built something together. And the trucker, when that happened, he said, how come I cannot work if I don't have 2 jobs? The common sense were not there with that policy. And so we built a beginning of a momentum together, and the truckers helped us to be sure that more and more people will understand what we are doing in Canada. And they were an example for other countries also that did the same thing. And that was a victory for us. We didn't win that war or that ideological war in our country, but we won a battle. And after that, a couple of provinces came and said, okay, we won't ask for the vaccine passport anymore, no mask and all that. But they did it because of the truckers, because of that movement. And now the only last fight is the one to be able to travel across our country. As you know, I'm not double jabs, and I won't, but I cannot travel. I'm a prisoner in my own country. Cannot travel by plane or by train. So with the Justice Center for Constitutional Freedoms, I'm fighting that. And the hearing of that case will be in September. I can tell you that we will win that case. I hope that at that time I'll be able to fly and I'll be able to take a plane because I need to travel across this country. It's a big discrimination. I'm the only leader of a national party that cannot take a plane, that cannot take a train in this country to do my job. And my job is to be with you, is to be, with Canadians and traveling and finding candidates and building organizations all across the country. So what I will do in May, I will start to do a trip in Atlantic Canada. I believe it will be by car. So we're going to build the organization over there. And my goal that in June, I hope I'll be able to travel. If not, maybe I will cross the border by car, go to Burlington, and take a flight from Burlington to Seattle, and cross back by car. And so, I don't know, but I need to be this summer. I cannot stay, I cannot travel only Quebec and Ontario. We need to build that party. And we want to be sure that before the end of this year, we will have about 90% of our candidates that will be approved. And it's important for us because our candidates will be able to campaign, will be able to be more visible in their community, in their riding, and that's important. So the party is growing step by step, and I want to thank you because, you are giving money for a good cause, for an association here, to build this association, for being ready for the next election. We know we need to have signs and a lot of things during an election, and it's costly. So I want to thank you very much. And we are growing the party. But what you can do also is to speak to your friends, your family, the people that you know that don't know about us. Because it's very difficult to be in the mainstream media. People who don't, people who are not on social media, and people who are, only listening CBC or CTV, it's difficult for us to reach to them. So, but actually, at the next general election, I will be able to be on the stage and to debate against these traditional establishment leaders, and that will give us a good opportunity because we will be able to reach to these people that are only listening CBC and CTV. So that will give us more visibility. And that's why I believe at the next election, we're gonna be the success of that election like we were at the last election. We were the only political party that grew its support at the last general election, from 300,000 people who voted for us to 875,000 people who voted for us. Yeah. From 1.6% of the vote to 5%. So all the other political parties didn't increase their percentage of the vote. Did not. So next time, that will be another challenge, and I can tell you that will be there. And I just want to answer the questions also about what is happening right now with the Conservative Party of Canada. They have a leadership contest right now. I told you before, the Conservative Party of Canada is morally and intellectually corrupt. Why? Because they don't believe in real conservative and free markets values. They are doing politics based on survey and polling. That's why they were not there. We didn't have any opposition during the COVID hysteria the last 2 years in Quebec and also in Ottawa. Because they were looking at the polls and, a big majority of the population were saying, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with lockdowns. I'm okay with a curfew. So they didn't want to have 50% and more of the population against them, so they were silent. We were the only real opposition, and we are still the only real opposition. Yeah. So whoever will be the leader of the Conservative Party, Pierre Poilievre or Jean Charest, it's not important. The only goal of the Conservative Party is to be in power. So they will do everything. They will spend money that we don't have, that will increase inflation, to buy your vote. They will do that. So they will go to the left because we are living in a socialist era right now in this country. So we are there, and we will always fight for what we believe. So if you want to know more about our party, go on our website, peoplespartyofcanada.ca, and read our platform over there, because that platform was our platform in 2019, 2021, and that will be the same platform next year. That's the way that we are doing politics. We believe that we have the right ideas and the right principles, and we won't do any compromise with our ideas and principles. We believe that the more we speak about it, the more support we will have. So that's why it's important to speak about what you believe openly, with passion and conviction. If every one of you is doing that, speaking about the PPC and our platform and our values, and just putting in the mind of another person a big question mark, and maybe that person will go on our website and read our platform, because our platform is based on common sense and on principles. So that's why, the more we are able to speak and to express our point of view, the more support we will have. And that's the way we are doing politics. That's why I've always said we are doing politics differently. Maybe what we are saying today is not popular. Maybe it's not popular today, but it will become popular because it's true and it's based on facts. It will become popular if every one of us are speaking about it openly and explaining our policies to Canadians. So we will change the public opinion. Like I said, it's a war. It's an ideological war to change the public opinion, to grow our support. We were maybe 10% against the COVID hysteria. But if if they impose other restrictions next summer, next winter, that 10% will go to 20% maybe. So we need to be out there. And now we know that we were right about everything on COVID. Everything. We have the science on our side and the common sense and the logic. How come I cannot be in a plane? I had COVID, and for me, I had the Delta variant, and my wife also. I was 2 days in bed, and that's it. So good for me. But I developed antibodies. And so I cannot be in a plane with some person near me that decided to have the 2 shots, and we know that everybody can catch and spread the virus. And with my antibodies and my natural immunity, it's better than 2 or 3 or 4 shots, jabs. So that's not based on logic. And it's a huge discrimination. In the 1960s in the US, if you were a black man or a black woman, at least you were able to be in a bus, but they told you have to sit in the back. I'm a white man in Canada, and I cannot be in a plane. I cannot travel in this country. That's discrimination, that's segregation, and Canadians must understand that. So that's a fight that we are doing for freedom, personal responsibility, respect and fairness, and that's us at the PPC. So I want to thank you very much, and now I must say sorry. Sorry, because yesterday I delivered a speech only in French, and after that my team told me, Maxime, we had some anglophone in the crowd, and you only spoke in French. I said, I came back I took the mic and I said, sorry about that. If you want me to repeat, what I'll do, I'll stay with you and I'll mingle with you. I can speak English with you. And just before, Danielle told me, don't forget to speak English today. So I did it, but when I'm in my mind, Yeah, so, but if you want, si vous voulez me parler en français, après, ça va me faire plaisir, mais je suis certain que tout le monde ici est bilingue et a bien entendu, malgré mon accent, mon anglais. Merci à tout le monde, je reste avec vous, bon lunch et à bientôt. Restez forts et libres!
Freedom! Freedom! Liberté, c'est ça!